I'm ICEBERG, and this is how I produce my song, Thinner. So this song, as many of this album do, started on this nylon acoustic guitar, and it was just a really simple kind of plucking pattern. I had always wanted to do a production with vocals only, with vocoders. I'm a big fan of Bon Iver and have been forever. I'd always wanted to do a song with that sort of style of production, but I had never written anything that fit. And since the song is called Thinner, and because it's about the topic that it's about, I thought this is the perfect song for that. And I love backing vocals and vocals. I love like stacking, 5 or 6 layers or 12 layers of backing vocals. So doing the vocal part, I could imagine doing that and having it work, but I didn't know if it would work without any instrumentation, so I was a little nervous about jumping into that. But my co-producer mintsauce and I worked on recreating that with a vocoder and played with the different harmonies until we felt like we had something that was thick enough to stand on its own without anything else underneath it. I sang the main vocal almost immediately when I wrote the song. I went into the studio and I recorded the main vocal so that we'd have that. And then we set up this vocoder. Harmony Engine is the one that I used. And so we have kind of a base of just chords underneath, which is this. You make me cry. Most of you feels like my dream. So that's just chords, the kind of guitar chords as a vocoder underneath my main vocal. And then these are the more stylized harmonies that I came up with. I don't have the answers all the time, but I know it's not right. It's spite when you make me cry. And so I think that was the hardest part of the process, was just making sure that the harmonies were right, since the vocals were going to stand alone, basically on their own for half of the song. And I wanted to keep it pretty bare bones, but again, I loved this nylon guitar and how the intervals that I was playing and how that kind of played with the vocal melody. And so I recorded beautiful nylon guitar. Just have a left and a right, the stereo. And this is exactly what I wrote originally, this part. I can listen forever, so nice. And then later I layered more different kind of nylon accents. So strumming on top of the pluck. And then really fast, all with just the fingers. And I put a piece of tissue paper, like toilet paper, in between the strings here, kind of weaving in and out of the strings, so that it would be a slightly muted sound. And so when I did this kind of strumming, it wouldn't overpower the original kind of plucking melody that I had. So a lot of time and effort and care was put into making sure that the guitar layers were just right, because there isn't a lot in this production, so everything needs to be really, really good. Everything needs to sound great on its own. So that's the nylon guitar and the vocals. And then we recorded some very cool kind of live snare drums here. I'm not a drummer, but I can play kind of individual drums at a time, or a couple drums. And so we recorded some live snare drum in the room. And then added some kind of sampled drums on top of it. Just to fill it out. And then the snare rolls. And you can never have too many snare rolls, in my opinion. just once in a while. So pretty simple, minimalist drums, a lot of snare rolls, kick, but a very live feel because we layered on the snare, the live snare. And then we've got some more electric guitars. I recorded through my Twinfinity amp with I have a Les Paul. And lots of beautiful non-vocoder mms and backing vocals. And then some cool subs. Sub bass. And then we've got, I also recorded live cello. A very good friend of mine who is an amazing cellist named Colin Stokes. He played cello. I wrote some cello parts for him and he played all of those and then added some other cool layers. And I think they add a lot, just really like light touches. Kind of buzzing. So those are a lot of the layers, and then the final song.
And I can feel my skin is getting thinner all the time. I wish you'd see how much of me you've taken on. You like the waves every day, your little wind is getting thinner all
Last
the
chorus.
time. I wish you'd see how much of me you've taken on. You like the waves every day, your little wind is lost. I wish you got how much I fought to keep us safe. But every day I point out the line that watch you cross. And I can feel my skin is getting thinner all the time.
And I remember that I wanted the last few seconds to feel live, so I just did raw guitar and vocals into like one mic and played the last, I can feel the last three things, so it would feel live. And I remember singing the vocals for the last chorus over and over and over and over, probably like 40 times or more, because I wanted it to have enough energy, but it also needs to be done well. And not sound overtuned, so you have to be really accurate. And so I did it until my voice basically ran out to try and get the intensity that I wanted into the song. That's Thinner.